I will find you. I will move. Don't worry. Okay. We're in Richmond Hill tonight. We got 2 of our candidates here. So many supporters. Who's willing to fight for our candidates in the Ontario Parliament? The Ontario Party is, we want it to be the party that Ontario needs and deserves. And unfortunately, we have a deficit of democracy in Canada. We have a deficit of transparency and a deficit of accountability. What if the government doesn't like what you're up to? What if they don't like what you're posting online? What if they don't like, a protest that you're going to? What if they don't like the kinds of activities that you're involved in? Now, they wouldn't admit to this now, but we just saw the protests in Ottawa, right? People were going there. And if you went there, if you had your truck there, we were seeing bank accounts closed, we were seeing assets seized. Imagine if the government wanted to do that, but they had all of your information locked up into a special digital ID. Imagine if they could just turn the switch. They find that, Catherine, we saw you there, okay, let's turn that off. Or let's say they do a lockdown again because there's a COVID outbreak, and they say, well, you have to stay within 15 kilometers of your home, and if you go further than that, your bank card's not going to work. All of this would become possible with the digital ID. Another failure that we've seen from the Ford government is their promise to get rid of the Kathleen Wynne sex ed education. And that was something that Ontarians were really, on board with getting rid of when Doug Ford was elected. That was their number one issue that they were talking about at the doors. But they never did that. They never got rid of it. And we're talking about age-inappropriate sex education curriculum. We're talking about, teachers putting subjective values about sexual identity and gender. Kids being told that, boys and girls, male and female, don't exist. These are things that have been taught to kids in Ontario. So we want to make sure that we get the sex ed to be age-appropriate in our school system once and for all. But all our candidates are top-notch. And it's just, it's a testament to the concern that Ontarians are having. It's a testament to the quantity of good people who are ready to fight for the province. But our group of candidates, we had a training seminar 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's just phenomenal to see the caliber of candidates that are standing up and being counted across the province. Every single one of them, I stand behind 100%. And Ramtin, why don't you come over and tell us more about yourself?
I'm an immigrant to this country. I came here when I was like 1.5. Basically, my parents, they came here from Iran. They left the country because they wanted to come to something better. They wanted to give something better for my future, for their future. And the opportunity was there. It wasn't there back home. My father came here originally, and then we came afterwards, me and my mom. Right away, my dad nose to the grindstone, started working. He opened up a pizza store. Afterwards, my mom opened up a tanning salon. Now they run a successful car dealership that I manage as well. I know a lot of people whose life has changed because of COVID-19. Some because of the virus, some because of the government overreach. And what I mean by government overreach is, in a way, the government, they've done more damage than I think what the virus did, right? People's lives are ruined. I gotta stand for what's true. I have to do what's right, and basically here I am. I'm gonna introduce Catherine. She's the candidate for the MPP position for the Aurora-Oak, Ridges and Richmond Hill.
Thanks, Ramtin. As you can hear, I have an accent. I'm from South Africa. So if I say something funny, you can ask me to repeat it. But just to get to know the audience a little, by show of hands, I wondered if you could raise your hand if you were not born in Canada. Wow. So many of you, or your parents, left your country to come to beautiful Canada to find a place where you would find freedom. And that's the same as me and my husband. And then you've come here, and isn't it ironic in 2022 that we now are fighting for freedom for this country?